Hey everyone, welcome back to another 90-day recap chat. This is Irene, CBiz Media, Faith, Love, and Trends. You 90-day fans know that 90 Day Fiance is a reality show that follows couples. One person's from the U.S., the other's from another country. We see their ups and downs. We see cultural barriers, language boundaries, all of these different things. The 90-day deadline to marry and to get that visa. And a lot of chaos and craziness ensues. It is 90 Day Fiance, but this is the single life spinoff, which takes those couples that didn't work out and the remnants, the people that are left behind. They're single again, and they're still trying to find love. So let's start with Kim and Jamal, mother and son. And Josh happens to tag along, and Josh is from one of the other franchises. We've seen him in multiple different ones of the 90-day universe, but him and Jamal are friends. So she meets Josh and Jamal at a store, a boutique. I'm thinking they're going there to pick her out an outfit or something like that, but they're going to be making this lip sync video, which is popular for the guys. A few of the guys on 90 Day, they kind of have a little boy band, so to speak. So they're going to be making something new, and Jamal is going to play the woman, and he's going to be wearing a dress. So when Kim arrives, she greets Josh. Her and Josh have some type of a thing. They kiss on the lips. I was a bit surprised. I knew that they were flirty. The two of them are flirting it up. And they're going to actually pick an outfit for her as well. She says, well, as you're going to get your outfit, I'm going to try some things on and see if I can find something. So Josh is her crush, and it drives Jamal crazy. And that's supposedly part of the reason why they're doing what they're doing. I don't know. But guys, I said she needed a makeover. So I'm happy that she's getting a new outfit. Jamal's going to be dressed in drag for this new video. It looks like Josh is loving on Kim's feet because she has her toes out. So we find out he has a foot fetish. A lot of things with these people that, okay. But Kim is going to actually go on a date with Joe, so that's why she's trying to pick a good outfit. She talks about situations where she thinks, basically she thinks Joe's a good guy. A lot of times men throw her crumbs, things are one-sided, and she again mentions that at 55 she's never felt love before. She tears up. I guess this happens multiple times when she talks about this, unless they're replaying the same clip, which I'm sure that they could do to kind of milk the situation. I don't know. But this is going to be her first one-on-one date with the guy Joe she met in the previous episode. So the two of them go they go on, it's a bike. It's like a bike by the water. They're by the water. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notes, guys. And, if you guys saw my other recap, and if you guys follow 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, it's a similar type of bike, a two-person bike that Daniel and Lisa got on. So they're on a similar type of bike, and it's kind of fun because you have to pedal together, you have to work together, you have to steer together, and I guess you kind of have to be on the same page when you're doing that. So then he has another idea. It's like, well, why don't we take out this camera and we're going to take selfies. The camera looks like an old school camera, but it like little baby Polaroids come out of it, and they pick their favorite ones. And Kim's like, oh, this is nice. This seems like a nice, sweet start, but she's only feeling friend vibes only. He's being a little flirtatious, but he doesn't seem like that guy that's like super flirty. She says she's not really feeling the spark. I say, give him another chance. He hasn't friend zoned her. He's showing interest. It appears that he likes her. He's just one of those nicer guys, and he's not going to just put it all out there like that. And maybe she needs to be the one to be a little bit more aggressive, because it's not as if she's putting the moves on him. He asked her on the date first. He's showing interest. And if she wants to spice things up, why doesn't she be the one to add the spice? Because there are some guys who are just nice guys, and they might have some spice in there, but they don't know if it's safe to show that or share that, or maybe you got to show them the spice. And to me, I don't see a problem with that. Some people are like, well, I don't want to teach people things that they don't know. And I think if somebody's a good person and you want them in your life and you guys will go good together otherwise, why not show them what you like and what you want and what you're into? I'm not saying just hook up right away, but I'm just saying if you want to be a little feisty, a little flirty, a little bit more fun with this guy to show that you're interested, and maybe ignite a spark that maybe he doesn't know he can bring, why not give it a try? I wouldn't just write him off as friends only. And then the guys that she's always into are the guys she's been complaining about, these guys that are throwing her crumbs, and maybe they're all about the bedroom and they really don't bring anything else. So I think she really should try another date with him. She's saying she doesn't really have time to just, be in the friend zone or have friend vibes, but I think she should give it another shot before she totally friend zones him. That's my thought. And what do you guys think about Joe? Should she try for a second date? Now we're back to Sophie, Liz, and Julia. Their fight continues where they're at the restaurant/bar. And Julia's like, you know what? I'm going to split you guys up. She tells her to go hang out with the doctor guy that she met earlier. And Liz doesn't want to be blamed for this whole situation, the scenario. Liz is kind of over the drama. She explains that to Via, but, Julia splits them up and then she soon leaves Liz. So I think they both think Liz is just not really their friend, but Julia's just a little bit more tame about it, and I don't know if she's giving her a benefit of the doubt, but I think Sophie mentioned, that, she just met him. Why would she talk with him like that and say all these things? But then she also, I'm thinking like, yeah, and you kind of just met him too. So do you really fully trust this guy? Because, you're putting him over Liz, unless Liz is a new friend to you and you guys don't really know her that well. I don't know, but I've seen people throw their girlfriends under the bus for a guy. It'd be different if she was coming on to him, flirting with him, but he said some things that were not accurate, and he's really setting up this scenario in the first place. So, as the two girls leave, and then she says, bye, Liz, go home, while she's talking to Via. She said she's crying. She's like, well, I don't know why she's crying, is what Sophie says. And she's like, as they're leaving, she said she's horrible. She's a horrible person, and I guess that's why she dates people like Ed. She's done with Liz, and she's done with this trip. So it looks like the next day she's playing tennis with Julia. She's having a little tantrum, like beating the ball with her racket. Julia's still trying to learn how to play. And she's just like, she doesn't want anything to do with Liz. She doesn't want anything to do with Pedro. Because she apologized, but she was like angry apologizing. So she doesn't know what's going on with that. She's triggered by people trying to tell her what to do and not listening to her and her feelings. And she says she does need to heal. Well, that's actually what Liz said, and she admits that to us. Julia seems like she's trying to be the peacemaker, but she's also not a Liz fan. But she decides to text Pedro and say, why don't we meet with Pedro and see what's going on? Don't give up. Don't leave this situation. Let's see what's going to happen. And so Julie, in the meantime, gives Sophie a gift, a water bottle. And when she opens it up, she says, well, look at the instructions in here. And she's like, wait a minute, what is this? And it looks like ultrasound pictures. So they're both happy. She jumps for joy for her friend. She knows she's been struggling trying to have a child. And now that she's pregnant, she's happy for her. They're both happy. She said, oh, that's why you haven't been drinking. And she thanks the baby. She thanks her and thanks the baby for coming along on this trip and supporting her in the midst of it all. With Liz and Via, they kind of discussed the situation, the argument with Sophie the other night. She thanks him for coming to the bar and kind of being supportive of her as he came over there as they were in the midst of the argument. And she kind of, feels that he's an important person to her, very supportive and kind. So she starts telling him teary-eyed about her situation with cancer. She also says, I found out after I lost a baby that I had ovarian cancer. And he starts to look emotional. And he thanks her for sharing with him. And he says basically he's a sucker for her tears. They share some kisses. And she says, even though the situation with Sophie, she's acting crazy, but she wants to thank Sophie and Pedro for this whole situation because she would have never met Via. So Via seems like a good guy and very caring for her situation. And it kind of broke his heart a bit. I could tell what she was going through. And he kind of has that, hey, I want to be your hero. I kind of want to rescue you. And I actually appreciate that because we don't see that all the time these days. The man really trying to rescue and be the hero for the woman. Not so much. Sometimes we have to be our own hero. Sometimes we even have to be the guy's hero. But it's good to see some traditional roles. It's good to see a traditional man. And that's what it looks like Liz needs. Finally, Courtney and Cole. She says, he's been acting different. She says the dog will always bite. Her friends had pushed her to find some dirt on him, on Cole. So when she returned home from hanging out with her friends, he was sleeping with the phone, and she was locked out of the phone, but she saw the phone was next to him, so she went and kept trying to get in there. And she finally figured out how to get in there. She kept trying passwords, and then finally she did it again and was able to get in. I guess she's trying to do Ocean's 11 or something herself and just trying to be like a detective or something. Anyway, he sees he's messaging other women, and another woman that she sees, he messages that he loves her. They say they love each other. She says he's homeless, jobless, and he has ED, but he's going out, playing around on her, planning to meet with this other woman. So she kicked him out. So he ended up going to get a room. And she says Colt is who everyone said he was. She saw this video where he's sending inappropriate things he was doing to himself in this video. She says in her house, and he was sending those videos to this woman, sexting this woman. She said it's actually the same video he sent to her as well. Why would you send that out? No, thank you. So, was he basically using her this whole time? So he asked her to come see him, and he said he wanted to apologize, but he says basically he just feels like a bird and not a man when he's with her. But Diana made him feel like a man. She cries as she prepares herself. She's trying to look real cute so he'll feel bad if you see what he's missing. But while in the midst of doing that, she's telling us the story. She's crying. She's messing her makeup in the middle of fixing it. But she says she tells her parents everything. So she told her parents about the situation. It starts raining and storming while she's telling her parents this. So, I guess it fits the mood of what's going on. And then the parents say, yeah, he played all of us. He played us too. And they're telling him, I think her dad was telling her, just walk away. Don't listen to any of his explanations. Just drop his stuff off and that's it. She meets him with this stuff, and he tries to do some small talk, and she's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Well, he starts to explain, well, everything was too fast and too much. I end up moving in with you and your parents, and all this, you guys take care of me. It's like we're married, and like he's just trying to come up with scenarios why he's been a jerk, right? And she said, well, if this is how you feel, why you couldn't just tell me this? Why lie and hide this situation from me? She says, it makes me feel like you never loved me. It's just you and your male part that you love. So she read him pretty well. And again, she threw in his face he was homeless, jobless, and he had ED. She said, I loved you and I thought you were my best friend. So next week, it sounds like, I'm thinking she threw this guy to the curb. She kicked him to the curb and put all his stuff to the left. But they're letting us see that he might have sweet talked her back in some way, or maybe she's just wants to be back in, so she's letting herself fall for this little game that he's playing. So I guess we're gonna see next time if Colt and Courtney, are they done? I don't think you should hold on to something that the guy's basically showing you that he's not that into you and he just wants your support. Even though he acts like he's remorseful, he acts like he still cares about her, I don't trust him. And I don't think she should either after she sees all these receipts. Why are you even contemplating compromising with this guy in the first place? Alright. She can be an easy target and keep coming back to him. I don't know, I think some of his other women have done this as well. But it's all his little game that he plays. He knows how to say the right things, sweet talk the women until there he is. I guess Colt has a pretty good game. So what are you guys' thoughts, comments, questions on this episode? Let me know. Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. Check us out on our other platforms at cbiztvmedia.com. What are you thinking of single life? Let me know. We'll talk again next time. All the best. God bless.